Sports all plays. All sports all plays. All sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays.
Welcome to another edition of ASAP in the Morning. It's your boy Jay McLovin and Frankie the Yankee. Frankie, how you doing this morning, brother?
I'm good, Jay. I'm good. I'm glad to be back here on ASAP in the Morning. My daughter graduated kindergarten yesterday, and I promise you all, I did not cry. I told Jay this yesterday. I did not cry. I was just sweating a lot from my eyeballs. That was it.
No, I don't believe that. I think you cried like a little baby. And you know what? It's okay. It's your baby girl. You should be crying. It's a beautiful moment. It's okay to say you cried, Frankie. Embrace yourself. Hey.
Boys don't cry, Frankie. Men do.
And then you got Ron Lowe, man. Good morning, Ron. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, definitely. Congrats, Frankie. I'm living it up. 2 days into the week. 3 more days to go.
Hell to the yeah.
Hey, Jay,
unless you're like being retired, then every day is fucking party day, but it's all good. Whatever.
Jay, before we start, can I just say something?
Yes.
For those who are watching, you cannot see my face for a reason, but I do have my New York Yankee logo because you guys can own your division, but for right now, everybody bow down to the Yankees. Also, it's a tough 2 weeks coming up for the Yankees, so I'm putting full support on my boys. We got a dance at home with the Tampa Bay Rays in the next 3 games. Then we're traveling to Toronto for 3 games, traveling back to Tampa for 3 games, and then we are home against my man Jay McLovin's Houston Astros in a 4-game series weekend. I cannot wait. That's the series I've been waiting for.
And listen, I will be at the June 30th home game for the Astros. And we are playing your beloved Yankees that day. And I will be behind home plate, maybe a little higher up because, hey, I ain't got all that kind of cash flow. Be down there at the bottom like you guys do. So I might be the Bob Uecker up there in the nosebleeds. But you know what? It's all good because I'll still be there. And we will be, I'm sure me and Frank will be talking back and forth about that game. So it should be, it should be quite the evening. And as well as the homestand there in New York, to Houston, I'm sure me and Frank are going to have back and forth conversations. So
definitely,
I really, my whole outcome, I think, which would be successful, is if me and Frankie can still be on speaking terms after they play. I mean, to be honest with you,
We always are. I mean, you guys didn't beat us one time last year in the regular season. We still talked.
I know, but Frankie tends to get a little sensitive sometimes. So.
Aww.
I am not the sensitive man, Jay.
We'll see. Hey, we'll see how it. Unless he's smoking the bowl, and then then it's all bets off of Frankie when he's smoking the bowl. So we'll see. Speaking of smoking the bowl, Montrezl Harrell, the Charlotte Hornets, Clippers, Rockets, and so forth, gets pulled over. And they confiscate 3 pounds of weed in his car, which he could face up to 5 years imprisonment for if they put him in jail. What the hell, guys? What is wrong with these men? Okay, we're gonna do a round robin. Frankie, Rob, we're gonna do a round robin. Does Montrezl just need the money so much that he's willing to risk his career? Number one, and number two, and of course you're gonna address both these points. And number two is like, if you're gonna sell 3 pounds of weed or carry 3 pounds of weed, why not do it in a state that condones weed consumption? I'm just saying. Those are the 2 things I don't quite understand. Frankie, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna start off on the first one. Montrezl Harrell, he honestly, I don't think he needs the money. Maybe it's just like a side thing to spending money. Probably, I don't know. Or maybe Washington is just not paying him as much as he was with the Clippers and with the Lakers. But hey, do what you do. But Jay, to get your second one, I mean, depending on the state he's at, right? I mean, it can be legalized. It's kind of like here in New York, we are legalized for marijuana, correct? And we can carry up to about, I believe, an ounce of marijuana before we can get charged for anything like that. So carrying 3 pounds is a whole different story. That's a whole different scenario. That's clearly distribution. Like, you're clearly looking like a major drug dealer. So, I mean, it depends on the state he was in. I forgot the state that he got caught in. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on through this man's head. But I told my boys yesterday, I said, I'm glad that the Lakers traded him away to the Wizards when they did, because if he would have did this with the Lakers, and he would have lost his job. It would already been breaking news that Montrezl Harrell would have been released from the Lakers. I don't know what the Washington Wizards are going to be doing with him. But if this was him in LA, he would be done. And I don't know if he'll be getting a job after this, because no team is going to want to deal with a drug dealer, especially someone like Montrezl. Let's be real. This guy is a true street term. He is a true gangster for the NBA. Like, literally, this guy is a true G.
Ron.
Wow. I'm blown away. It's unfortunate. I'm almost at a loss for words, but
I wish I was born in '96. I still have hair.
I love that.
It's amazing that someone is going to pretty much lose their life off of cannabis. I think you answered both those questions eloquently, Frankie. So, I mean, you gave the hard, stern media look, but a man's life taken away for cannabis. But like you said, why couldn't you just do this in the state where it's legal?
I wonder what the street value of 3 pounds of marijuana is actually worth.
I don't want to, like, I'm not going to do it, Jay. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is.
I don't think it's a lot.
It is a lot.
I mean, I'm just curious as to, like, the value of what something like that would be. Well, I gotta imagine the average price for a pound of weed is $1,616. That's the average price of weed. So if we just take just that basic, let's say 1616, and because I'm not a mathematician, so I gotta put in my calculator. So he had about $4,850, give or take a few, of weed in his car. I don't know, man. Hey, I'm not a mathematician and I don't understand finances, but I gotta say, Montrezl, $4,850, is it really worth what you're getting paid on your NBA salary? And you're probably gonna have to do some prison time? I gotta be honest with you guys. I don't think I'm gonna transport 3 pounds of weed in my car when I'm making that kind of money. And to me, it just sounds like a lot of stupidity. I don't care how gangster you think you are. You're not exactly the smartest individual in this world financially, if that's what you think you got to do.
What if it's his weed that he personally uses?
Then he should be personally using it in a state that condones weed.
But it also comes down to the state that he's at. Every different state is different. So, like,
I get that.
He can sell one of those pounds, literally, Jay, for about almost $2,000. Depending on the state that he's at. No,
of course, I gave you the average. So, state to state will probably, like I said, vary. But again, if I'm Montrezl and I need weed that bad, hey, look, watch this. I'm probably going to keep it, number one, either A, at my house. I'm not going to transport in a car because, let's be honest, you're opening yourself up to the ability to be pulled over. And the cop said that he could smell the weed, even though it was in vacuum packed, sealed in his backpack. The cop said he can smell the weed in the car, so I don't think I'm going to jeopardize transport. I'm probably going to keep it in one spot. And number two, if I really need weed that bad, I know I got enough money. Watch this. I'll catch a red eye. I'll go to Colorado, and I'll just smoke as much as I possibly can, and then I'll come back home. I don't know. I'm thinking alternatives that are better than sitting behind bars.
And he's a multi-millionaire. He should have like a security guard or somebody a weed man that takes care of these deliveries for him.
Hello? I'm just saying hello. That's okay, Montrezel. For $4,800 or the $6,000, depending on what state you live in, I guess you're just going to have to do some jail time and give up a lot of lucrative money.
He going to have to hold this L.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. You know what? Hey, listen, I thought gangsters were supposed to be smart, Frankie. Weren't gangsters supposed to be smart? I'm just asking for a friend. Gangster my ass. Okay. So Frankie, Nat's dad puts up there and says, wait, Frankie likes the Yankees, the Lakers, and the Patriots. That's the born in 1996 fandom starter pack. Love that. I love that. That, you know what? When I saw that, I was just thinking like, damn, Frankie.
I don't show no emotion to it because I don't know how many times I gotta tell everybody in every stream and every show how I grew up to like the teams that I like. But you don't see me going around saying, you know, I'm a Yankee fan, but I like this team. I'm a Laker fan, but I also like this team.
I get it. I just think it's interesting how you did choose the three most popular franchises in sports.
That's right. I did. And you know what? I did it by growing up watching my sports, which, again, I'm going to have to rephrase to people. I grew up watching the Yankees. My family grew up with me, or I grew up in my family watching baseball first. That was, as a Hispanic born, baseball was nothing but on the TV every day because of my grandfather. So Yankees were a diehard team for me. Then growing up watching football, I learned and progressed into liking the Patriots. Drew Bledsoe was one of the great quarterbacks that I liked to watch back in the day. And with the Lakers, I've learned to – I'm going to be real with you. I'm just like Rob Scott, right? I watched Chicago and the Bulls. My grandfather on my father's side, rest in peace. So he was a Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan fan. And going to his house, I will watch Michael Jordan and the Bulls every time they were on TV. So I kind of liked Michael Jordan, not the Bulls. I liked Michael Jordan. Then when I got into the sport of basketball because of my grandfather, I've watched more Laker games than Bull games because of Kobe Bryant. I liked Kobe Bryant. I liked Shaq. I liked the duo. They were dominant. They were beasts. And at the time, I didn't even care. He said, no, I don't like, to be real with you, I
just like it. I think that's hilarious.
I don't watch much college ball, honestly, to be real. And you can ask Jay that. We all basically don't get that much into college balls because we're not NCAA guys. We're actual major league people. But, yeah, with the Lakers, I've learned to like them as well. But you don't see me going around kind of like, you know, Freddie or other people like, oh, I like it. Or, for example, like Mr. Rob Scott, who's here. I don't go around saying I like, you know, this team, but I'm also like Rob Scott. He's a Bulls fan, but got the nerve to wear a Warriors hat. You don't see me doing that.
Hold on. Let me make it clear for you. Warriors. Frankie,
it's funny. It's funny.
Did you hear me? Warriors.
It's funny that you do that, Rob, because every time they win, you come in and do that. But when they lose, you don't want to come on the show. You'd be like, I'm at work. I'm at work.
First of all,
I don't want to hear it. Be true.
I got off
Be
today.
true.
Do you see where I'm at? I'm
Be true.
I'm in the hotel room. I'm off today. So I hopped on. And I'll be trying to hop on even when I'm at work. It's just that, as you saw, if you follow me on Facebook, we have one of the biggest commercial design shows going on in the U.S. that we produced. Shout out to Show Strategy. Shout out to GCJ Management. That's where my attention was at. But today I got time because the Warriors are up 3-2.
You sound like Draymond making an excuse back in Game 3.
Hey, we don't make excuses. We just make money.
We ain't even talk about the game yet. Right on time.
Hey, Frankie, I love you though, man.
I love you too, Rob. I love you too. I just got to tell this Nats guy something because he's over here calling me out, trying to be like, "Oh, I like the Yankees, Lakers, and Patriots." Born in '96.
There's nothing wrong to like winning.
I think that's Joe McDonald. I think Joe McDonald is Nats dad. But yeah, hey, listen, I am legally bound to fight anyone who besmirches any Texas team.
It's true.
I don't even know what besmirches means, but we're gonna roll with it.
I used to hear William Regal say it. I think it means "Don't piss me off."
It's true. Jay literally, he hates me when I talk trash about him. Like when I be like, Jay's not a Rockets fan, he's a Bucks fan. Jay doesn't talk to me for about 2 days. Or if I say the Astros are trash, and he's like a real Texas Rangers guy, Jay wouldn't talk to me for a week. So it's true. I understand what he's saying.
You know what though? But I understand what Ron is saying too. It's called sports. You don't have to look. My uncle, born and raised in Chicago, he does not like the Chicago Bears. Now it's due to some racial issues, but he refuses to cheer for the Bears. He is the only Bears fan I know, or Chicagoan I know, that will cheer for the Packers when the Bears play them. Like. So you don't necessarily have to like your home state, and you don't necessarily have to like just one team.
Hey, I just want to say that I was right. Nats dad is Joe McDonald. I knew it. You know what? In the back of my mind, I thought I saw him somewhere. When he said Jay McHayton, I just instantaneously tied that to Joe McDonald. So Joe McDonald, that's how I knew it was you, because you're the only one that called me Jay McHayton. So good for the clue package there, so I could guess that. So real quick, guys, listen. For those of you that weren't here for the morning meeting that I had with Frankie and Ron, we're getting away from the barbecue argumentative style, talking over each other, as we normally would do in a chaotic situation on this show. We're going to more of a traditional debate style, get called upon, and you can say whatever the hell it is you want to say when you're called, but we want to get away from the talking over so that way the viewers can enjoy each and every viewpoint that is presented on this show. Anyway, as I carry on. So Rob, and then Chris, by the way, Chris, you know what? I'm going to introduce you guys properly. Rob, you came in second. Rob, good morning. I see you at the hotel. Thanks for being on the show. Much love. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right, man. You know, I got a beautiful view of the city. My Warriors are up. I'm ready to see Pryor shave his beard.
And
I've been paying attention to that bet.
Well, we got one more game though. He said, I guess I thought it was after this game, but apparently we're gonna go this series. Not that it's gonna matter because they're 3-2. We know the Warriors are gonna win.
Over.
So he's just delaying the inevitable. But that's okay. I'm fine with that.
We love you, Pride.
So Gonzo, good morning, man. How you doing, brother? I know you had your doctor's appointment, and how's everything going, brother?
Oh, doing good. Just waiting on the biopsies to come back, make sure everything's good on that front. But I think everything is. But I feel a lot better today. Yesterday, after that medicine they gave me to put me to sleep, I slept most of the day. I was groggy all day. But
I bet you were, man. Yeah, I bet you were. Well, and again, man, we sent out prayers for you, man. So we know everything's going to come out just fine. And we're going to have many thousands of years of Gonzo. You'll probably live longer than me. So, you know, you come to my funeral. I'm not coming to yours. So it's all good.
I'm going to bust right up in there. And I'm going to be like the upper room.
The upper room. I think Chris' body has gotten worse since he's gotten that real major Ric Flair chop back in the ring. So
yeah,
ever since he got
that
chopped,
real Flair chop, I heard of it. Okay, folks, listen.
It's good. Hey,
we're gonna go back to Rob real quick. I want to get your thoughts, and then Gonzo, I want to get your thoughts. Rob, what are your thoughts on Montrezl Harrell getting pulled over? Had 3 vacuum-packed bags of marijuana in his backpack, which we kind of estimated it was around $5 to $6 grand worth of weed. What is your thought process? Number one, in terms of, the money, if he goes to prison, the money he's going to give up on his contract versus $6,000. I mean, how crazy is that? And number two, why not just do it in a state that's legal? What is your thought process on the whole Montrezl Harrell thing?
Man, that's a. First of all, I don't know why people with money put themselves in that position. First of all, before I begin, I want to send our condolences to one of our comrades, to Greg, who just lost his grandma. So our thoughts and prayers are with you, brother. You know, we one family here at ASAP. So when one of us hurt, we all hurt. So we thinking about you, bro. But yeah, I don't know why people with money put themselves in that position. Like, you know, even if you smoking or you whatever you doing, you got people that can do that for you. Like if you're not Montrezl Harrell, they probably get a smack on the wrist. But you know, somebody probably recognize you as an NBA player. Oh, this guy, you know, I heard Frankie say, you know, he's like a thug, you know, which he is. Like he's the thug of the NBA. You know, everybody know he's always in somebody's face. He's always causing conflict. It's just, you know, if you smoking it, if you sell it, whatever, you got enough money where you don't have to be the person picking it up or driving around with it. So I just don't understand why these dudes put themselves in positions like that and then get mad at us for calling them idiots. Like, you got all this money, bro. Why are you still trying to live the street life? I thought the objective was to get money and get out the hood. When did that stop becoming the objective?
No, I agree with you totally. And that's what I'm saying. $6,000 a weed. Like, what is that for him? What would that be in his NBA money? What, maybe like a couple of practice? Not even a couple. Maybe what? Maybe just getting dressed in a locker room, he probably makes $6,000. I mean, like, I don't get why you would jeopardize those career earnings for such a small amount of BS. To me, it makes absolutely no sense. And I'm sorry, but if, like I said earlier, if you're a true gangster, you're a little bit smarter than the average bear, and he wasn't being smart at all. Like, at all.
He's not smart.
Chris, what is your thought process on Montrezl Harrell? And like I said, you know, I mean, everything he's going through right now and everything he's done and his future. I mean, what is your thought process on him?
No, I agree with Rob. These players have to learn that if people spot you, they might pull you over. So you shouldn't travel around with anything on you. Like Rob said, you have enough money, you could pay somebody to do that for you and still come out ahead.
Absolutely.
I was just reading the article. They said he got pulled over for following the car in front of him too close. So that there tells you that they noticed who he was and probably pulled him over just because of who he was. Because how often do people get pulled over for following a car too close at 10 o'clock in the morning?
Hell, that's no more driving in Savannah.
Yeah, when traffic's going to work, when your work traffic's out and everything, you see people bumper to bumper all the time. So to get pulled over for that kind of makes me think like that police officer might have noticed who he was and pulled him over because of that. And things like that happen. So you can't drive. I mean, if you want to smoke, by all means, smoke. I'm all for it, but you got to be smart about it.
I'm all for it too.
And again, like you said, if you're Montrezl Harrell, you know, cops run plates. They are, and when they see, like you said, somebody famous or somebody they recognize, and especially if you got 3 pounds of weed, I don't think I'm going to follow anybody. I don't think I'm going to give anybody a reason if you're going to do that to pull me over. So I'm probably going to maintain a half a car length. I'm probably going to make sure I do all the P's and Q's. But as you can see, that didn't happen with Montrezl. And of course, we got Sports D coming on. Hey, what's up, my brother? How you doing today? Thank you for coming back.
I'm just pissed that Montrezl didn't give me none. Like, I'm over here in New York, you know, twirling my thumbs. I thought he was coming to, you know, meet me. Then I find out
Kentucky's closer to me. He should stop by my house.
See, so he was stopping to Chris and then coming to me in New York, and we're just twirling our thumbs like, where's our guy at? Like, we're waiting, and then we see the breaking news, and it's like, man. But can you take a minute to just think, like, he probably wasn't even smoking in the car. If they had that in his trunk, and I understand it was like a search and stuff like that, his car must have been smelling real heavy.
Well, the club said he can smell it, so 3 pounds, he was doing pretty good. But hold on, folks. We got Sports Wrap coming back into the show. Good morning, sir. What do you think about Montrezl Harrell and this 3 pounds of weed that they found in his car because he was driving too closely? Sports Rock, can you hear us? I think he froze up. Hold on. Hey, you there, brother? Let me try this.
Oh, he's coming.
I will say this.
Okay.
They
Yeah, go
said
ahead,
it was. They said it was vaccinated.
Oh, what happened to Rob?
I just backed out.
Sports Rap, you there, brother?
Yep, I'm there.
Can you hear us okay? I think he might be having audio issues. Can you hear us okay?
Clearly.
Not really. It's choppy.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you might want to check your audio settings. We're talking about Montrezl Harrell and all that he's going through with that 3 pounds of weed they found in his car. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I'm going to try and read that.
Okay, that's fine. We'll catch you back.
Hey,
Ladies and
Jay,
gentlemen, that's what happens when you stream from your cell phone. It's okay. You have some technical difficulties, but we are here to keep you live and entertained. That's what Jay McLevin is our host for. We have some, it happens unscripted. We have some technical difficulties, but we make you proud.
hey, Jay.
Amen.
Yeah.
It says here that he's facing up to 5 years in prison.
Yeah. 3 pounds of
$10,000
weed.
fine.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what we're talking about. 3 pounds of weed. Is it really worth prison time? Loss of salary? I mean, come on, man. It don't make no damn sense.
At this point, Jay, I'm convinced that his cellmate's going to be Jeff Hardy. Like, I'm just convinced because they're both going to do 5 years.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy. That's a whole other. What's up with Jeff Hardy, man? Come on, Jeff.
All right,
You
so
can't get it over?
it's easy to answer, Jay. This man, late 90s, early 2000s, Team Extreme, jumping off ladders, jumping off roofs, jumping off top objects, just high enough to because he knows us fans like me and Chris, diehard wrestling fans. He knows that entertains us. We love that. But he's too old now. My man is almost like in his 40s now, and he's still doing that. So we know his history of drugs and drinking. You know, he left the WWE because of it many times, but he ends up coming back. So I think it was that last match in AEW with Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin. It just took a lot out of Jeff. Jeff was doing crazy high-flying moves that he shouldn't be doing at the age that he's at now. And you can see it in his brother Matt Hardy's eyes and his face. Like, he tells his brother, you don't have to do this. You know, you're going to waste your career too early. And I agree with Matt. You know, Jeff can't be doing this at the age that he is in right now. So for Jeff to basically for himself to get back to normal and be healed, the best way for him to do that is with his drugs and his alcohol. I don't know. Chris, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with you. He never adapted his style as he got older. Once you're a made star like that, you don't have to do all them moves no more. You know what I mean?
Hey, by the way, somebody's telling Joe McDonald, hey, listen, we're going to get to the game, of course. Keep your panties on. It's going to be okay. Real quick, Sports Rap, man, what do you think about the whole Montrezl Harrell and 3 pounds of weed? I mean, now he's possibly faced up to 5 years imprisonment, obviously loss of salary over what could possibly equate to about $6,000 worth of weed. What do you think about that?
Like, I don't get it. In my opinion, it's kind of like in a long line of stories with a lot of these other guys. It's like not condoning everything that you do, but being smart about it and thinking about the situation. You got access. You could just be home and have somebody bring it to you if it got to that point. Like, you don't have to be transporting it, traveling around on your own. Like, it's amazing how these seem to understand that you're out in public. People know who you are. It may not be everybody, but it's a very high chance that a few people know who you are. So I just don't get it. You know, like, I don't understand where their thought process gets to in situations like that.
That's exactly.
And again, Sports Rap, they got 3 pounds on him. Now, either A, you know, you smoke a lot of weed, or B, Or B, he was selling it. I mean, what other reason would I mean? Is he smoking just that much, or do you think they got him from trafficking?
There's no way 3 pounds was personal use.
I don't think you can say that.
Yeah, Rob, you know, Rob.
So?
Well, no, my thing is, some people buy it in bulk. So if I'm not steady coming back out, you know. So I buy it, I store it. I can smoke whenever I want to smoke. I got some to take me on the road when I go on the games. Because of the fact that I'm Montrezl Harrell, I can't keep going down here buying ounce. Yeah, just give me a couple pounds and we good. You know, but like you said, and I agree, Sports Rap. Why are you going to get it?
Right.
That's my thing. I know you got cousins. I know you got friends. And see, that's what some of these NBA players, that's what some of these celebrities need. You don't need yes men around you. You need somebody to be like, hey, bro, I got it, bro. You Montrezl Harrell. Why are you
Absolutely.
Sit down, bro?
And the thing about it is even if that is his personal use, society looks at 3 pounds of weed in your car and Ziploc bags in a backpack is not for personal use. And that's what they're getting him on. They're getting him on trafficking. They're getting him off the potential to sell. And that's why he's faced up to 3 or almost 5, well, we could equate to 5 years imprisonment. So again, and he could be doing it to store it up. But you got to think, okay, like you said, number one, if I've got 3 pounds of weed and I know I'm Montrezl Harrell, I'm not going to follow you closely. I'm not going to give anybody a reason to pull me over if I'm stupid enough to actually do that. But like you said, hey, Rob, it goes back. You got people around you. You know, they can bring you that shit. Stuff. I'm sorry. You can't stuff.
Jay, I just want to correct you. I just want to correct you quickly, Jay. 3 pounds of weed could be personal use. I mean, I would love to have 3 pounds of weed. Snoop Dogg could smoke 3 pounds of weed in a day. I mean, so you could definitely do 3 pounds of weed personal.
Hey, Frankie, I was speaking from experience too. I'm like, you know,
no, Rob, let me tell you. If I may, let me tell you a little story I know about Frankie.
Freezer to have 3 pounds.
Hey, Frankie is the kind of guy that would smoke 3 pounds, and after every pound, he's scraping the bowl resin, and he's gonna get every last ounce. Okay, so I do believe that.
That's where you're wrong, Jay. All right. And I'm not a racist guy, but I'm not a white dude. I don't smoke bowls, man. I smoke blunts, bro. I'm a G. Hey, I'm a New Yorker. You don't smoke bowls over here. Hey. You don't scrape resins.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, for those of you that don't know, but no, I'm not going to say that because ASAP put out a policy that we're not allowed to pick on people or make personal. So I'm not going to say that. I'm going to leave it alone. And I'm going to move on and I'm going to adhere to ASAP policy. So yeah, folks, listen.
The ASAP policy. You better tell me what you wanted to tell me. Damn it, you're Jay McLovin. Tell Frankie the Yankee what you wanted to say.
Hey, when Jay McLovin become a policy guy?
Right? When did he become a CEO?
Hey, you know what? No, I'll tell you when Jay McLovin became a policy guy because Jay McLovin was asleep in his bed at 10:30 at night because I'm old and I kind of go to bed that late. But and Freddie calls me freaking Skype telling me, "Hey man, let me go over policy with you." And I'm like, "Son of a God, what the?" I thought I was having a freaking flashback or a nightmare. Who the hell calls you at 10:30 at night to talk about policy? I said, listen, my wife don't even talk about policy at 10:30 at night about the bathroom we use of toilet paper, so I don't understand what we're talking about. But anyway. Hey, look.
He had to look it up on Google. What's policy mean?
Yeah. What I was going to say was Frankie says the word G because he can't spell gangster. So he just puts G on everything and he figures people know what he's talking about. Whatever. It's all good.
I spelled gangster for you on the messenger. What the hell are you talking
about? He said, what do you mean there's an ER in gangster? I thought it ended with an A.
I'm a true G. It ends with an A. You're a gangster, not a gangster. You're a gangster.
Hey, folks, listen, there was a game last night, and apparently Rob knows about it. Pride is ducking as always. I guess he didn't want to face the smoke of the Celtics loss. But, hey, look, that was it was a pretty close game. There was a lot of, ebbs and flows in it. But I really thought it was interesting to me that they had 9 turnovers, the Celtics did in the first half, and only 1 bench point, which I got to be honest with you, I think that was a downfall of the Celtics was the lack of bench scoring. and the turnovers that really killed that team. But again, is Jason Tatum a superstar? I'm asking that question one more time. And we're going to start with Frankie, and we're going to work all the way back to Rob because I want to give Rob the absolute most time to talk about his beloved Warriors. And actually, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to do that. Nope, because I'm going to give Rob the absolute utmost respect. Rob, please enlighten us.
Wow, you just fully disrespect me, Jay. Thanks.
It is Rob's team, and I do want to let him go first. I don't want to. Both merits.
Go ahead, Rob.
Okay.
Say what you got to say about your second team.
First of all, let's give a shout out to Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins showed up yesterday, big time, on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively. Gave you 26 points. The man shot over 50% from the field. Couldn't hit a three to save his life. The defense he played was beautiful. He also rebounded the ball. He was out there controlling the pace of the game. I like the way he was looking at people while he was dunking the ball on top of their head. I posted on my page that a lot of people say Andrew Wiggins is a bust. He said, I'm no bust, but I will bust your ass. And that's what he did last night. I was proud of that boy. Steph had a rough shooting game, but when you carry your team one game, you hope that in return your team can one day carry you. And that's what the Warriors did yesterday. Draymond showed up, played defense. I really want to say it was a defensive-minded game for the Warriors. I think the pace changed when Gary Payton Jr. got in. I think the defense he played off the bench was amazing. Jordan Poole was able to carry some of the load in the third quarter, especially hitting that big shot at the end of the third. I think the Warriors just proved that they're just too much for the Boston Celtics. And when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, because Jason Tatum, if you look at the numbers, he technically had a pretty decent game. But if you watch the game, you understand that it's more that Jason Tatum could have did for this squad. And Jaylen Brown, he just lost his shooting touch. Right now, I just think that the Golden State Warriors are too much for the Celtics. They proved that last night. And I'm nervous for the Celtics in Game 6 because we see that when they have to win the big one at home, they don't do it. They couldn't close out Milwaukee at home. They couldn't close out Miami at home. And I don't know if they can save themselves from getting closed out at home. It's over with. Warriors in 6. Get that man Steph Curry the respect he deserved. Your finals MVP, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all I got to say about that.
And that's all I got to say about that.
We're going to come back to Sports Wrap because I think he's spinning right now. Unless Sports Wrap, you're there.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Sports Wrap, what do we think about it, man? This whole Celtics and Golden State situation.
I mean, I picked very beginning. I picked Golden State in 6. Now I see that highly possibly happening. I was also slightly impressed with some of the play of Boston early in this series, like games 1, 2. At that point, I said that I changed a little bit, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if something happened and the Celtics were to win. But I also said in all of that, I said that I felt like the Warriors were the team that has been there, has done it. So getting punched in the mouth for them is like not really getting punched in the mouth. It's like, all right, they punched us in the mouth, so now we're going to punch them 3 times in the mouth. I said to a lot of people, the difference with Boston, they're playing hella defense. I said, but the difference is the percentage-wise, when you look at Golden State, a lot more times than Boston, typically, they're going to get that extra point because that's what they do. They shoot that 3. So a lot more times than not, they're going to get that extra point. That helps them a lot. And like you said, I'm tripping here. My phone and everything's acting up. But like you said, they are in that mode now, it looks like. I said some things about Draymond, and I also always said I like what he does on the basketball court for that team and that makeup of that team. The antics, I'm all right with because I understand that that's him. But game 3 and 4, I felt like he was just adding a little sauce into it, or some unnecessary sauce into it. just seemed that way. But with him being taken out late in that game, that strategy, I think that helped him because it showed last night. He played a better game last night. And I think that taking him out in that crucial moment in game 4 helped him a little bit in moving into game 5.
So, Chris, speaking of Draymond, I mean, obviously, like Sports Rap just put up was the fact that Draymond obviously disappeared in game 4, and everybody was ridiculing him and giving him issues. And now come game 5, he flirts with a triple-double, right? 8, 6, and 8. I mean, what is this? Is this now? Can we expect in game 6 coming up? I mean, how do you look at Draymond? Because I feel like Draymond is a factor, and I think everybody will agree that Draymond is a factor in this game. If Draymond comes out and performs, then this team will excel. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think you have to give Steve Kerr a lot of credit for benching Draymond at the end of game 4. He stayed with Looney, who was hot at the time, and I think Draymond found his groove last night in game 5. Played a lot better. He did still foul out. It'd be nice to see him play a whole game, but he was cutting to the rim. He was going to the rim, wasn't just settling for threes all the time. He impacted the game last night. He didn't impact the game in the last couple. So I think Draymond found his groove. I think he'll be fine in game 6. I think it's kind of like the Warriors and Mavs series when the Mavs lost that game 2, and we all said you can't blow a game like that against the Warriors. Well, last night Steph Curry had his one bad game of the series, and the Warriors still won the game. The Celtics couldn't afford to lose that game the way Steph played last night. And I just saw some Damian saying Steph shouldn't be Finals MVP. When the Warriors win this next game in game 6, Steph will be the Finals MVP. He's carried this team the whole Finals. He had one bad game yesterday shooting wise, but if you look, he still affected the game. He still had 8 assists. Him being on the floor as a decoy gets him other guys more open shots. So yeah, he wasn't shooting the ball well last night, but he still had a big impact on that game with his assist and his defense. He played solid defense last night. People don't give him credit for that. I'm not saying he was the best defender on the court, but he played solid defense. But Jay, I told you at the beginning of the series, I said Warriors in 6, and I said Andrew Wiggins was going to be the X factor, and he was definitely the X factor last night.
Yeah, I mean, you both had Warriors in 6. I think Rob was the only crazy one with the Warriors in 5. Whatever.
Yep. Hey, let's not act like that almost didn't happen. I mean, Boston stole the game.
Stole game 1.
That's it.
I know. I just knew if I said that, man, I was gonna get your blood pressure boiling, and I was right. Ron Lowe, man. It looks like Wiggins is stepping up into that number 2 role pretty nicely there with Golden State. Minnesota, Cleveland, they kind of used Andrew Wiggins a lot to me in the wrong way. They tried to make him a 1. He was never really a 1. He was more of a 2. And it looks like with Golden State, he's embraced this role as the Robin to Curry's Batman. Going forward, how do you see that playing out? And do you think, obviously Curry got one bad game, but, is it going to be a battle if Golden State wins the series? Would it be a battle between Wiggins and Curry for MVP?
Absolutely not.
Thank you, Ron. Lord Jesus, people finna blow my mind with this.
That is Steph Curry's MVP, Finals MVP, and it's not close. However, I was shocked last night watching the game. Like, wow, it's the NBA Finals, and Andrew Wiggins is the best player on the court right now. I can't believe I had to make that statement. He's the reason why they won last night.
Oh, yes,
he played incredible.
It's true. And again, no, I'm not saying that Curry's not the MVP, Rob, but I had to ask Ron that type of question because you can see where clearly Wiggins, his attributes or his gifts to the Warriors, it is helping them win the game, and it's taking a lot of the pressure off of Curry when you got that extra guy that can do that for you.
It helped them win one game.
No, I think Wiggins has been more influential.
Has not really played in this finals. Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum has been killing that boy. Let's not act like this ain't been happening. Yeah, he finally stepped it up last night, and I'm gonna give credit where credit is
Yeah.
due. But Steph has carried the Warriors throughout the entire finals, bro. That's why I don't even see how this is a real question. And stop putting Damian's comments up because we clearly know he don't know basketball.
I really think that Damian knows basketball. You know what I've come to figure out is that Damian, I think, puts things up there just to piss people off. I think it's more a reaction-based thing.
He's a troll, which is why he had to come
Hey, real quick. So Frankie, in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, Poole hit that buzzer beater. Is Jordan Poole starting to step up and really learn, like Steph Curry to hit those big time things? And is this more to come from Poole as we go forward?
Definitely, yeah. Jordan Poole is basically learning from Steph Curry. It's basically like it's kind of like showing that Steph Curry knows he's not going to be there very long, right? I say Steph Curry has probably like a maximum of like maybe 10 years or 7 to 10 years left in the NBA, but with the Warriors, maybe not that long. So Steph Curry's going to be that guy to hand pull the torch of running Golden State. So he's learning from Steph Curry for future reference. But that third quarter shot it blew my mind. It literally blew my mind because the Celtics came out hot in the third quarter. They started off hot. So, and this was something that no one, not just the finals, but the entire playoffs, no one was ever to do what Boston did to the Warriors in a third quarter. The Warriors have owned the third quarter this entire playoffs, owned it, and last night showed that the Boston Celtics can do something. So it's equal in both sides, defensively, offensively. I mean, the Celtics can do it offensively, but it also shows that Golden State can hold them down defensively. So this is a good finals matchup. If you guys are thinking it's not, like, if you got people that are be like, man, Warriors should have won this already. This should be over in 5, kind of like Rob. He's over there like, oh, this should have ended in 5. Nah, man. I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I've said it since the beginning. I was riding with the Celtics all through the playoffs because I wanted them to make the finals for my boy Pride. But me being a Western guy with the Lakers, I had to choose the Western team in the finals. As always, the West is the best. So I picked the Golden State Warriors to win the championship. And I said that the Warriors are going to win it at 7 at home for their fans. So don't be surprised that the Celtics come out hot in Game 6 and just, blow the water out on Golden State. Obviously, Golden State is going to make it challenging for them in the next game. But I do see the Celtics winning it and it's going to 7. And the Golden State Warriors are just going to have a phenomenal Game 7, ending it at home in front of their fan base because that crowd is insane for Golden State. And that crowd is the reason, Golden State plays the way they do, is they hear that fan base. And when you hear your fan base standing behind you, losing or winning, it changes your momentum in the game. It really does. The big reason why the Celtics lost, and Jay, it comes down to what you said in the very beginning of this topic, the turnovers. It was the turnovers. The Celtics ended with 18 turnovers, I believe. Let me see, double check. Yes. No. 18 turnovers, and the Warriors had 6. So it was the turnovers that killed the Celtics. Rebounding, the Celtics dominated 47-39 against the Warriors. So the Celtics were getting the ball. It was the turnovers that were killing them. So if the Celtics can do something to lower that turnover range in Game 6, then that's why I see the Celtics winning it. And then we go back to Golden State, and the Warriors ended in 7. And my prediction will be true. And I can go to Pride because he's gonna be crying like a little baby. Because we don't like to lose the championship. We all been there. We all have done it. We've all been to the major championship game, and we've lost it. And we felt that depression. So it's time for Pride to feel the depression.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break real quick. Hey, if you want to talk more about this, and of course we're coming back to talk about playoffs as well, but tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on ASAP, Unscripted is going to break down even more of the basketball playoffs, and hopefully Rob will be on tonight, and we can get another little debate going with Pride, and we can have some more fun with that. We can talk NHL, baseball, you name it. ASAP's talking about it, and 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, and we'll be right back.
I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it, I just do it. Like Nike swoosh, none of that Reggie Bush. Cause I'm top shelf, I ain't got wealth. But I'm on my grind like park rails. I'd sell the shoes right off my 2 feet, then add one, that's a yard sale. Got dumb bars that be smarter than Harvard, Yale. Take your pictures elsewhere, you wanna be TMZ, I wanna be VIP. Quit pandering, I'm not answering, cause I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. All of that bark and no bite, that's alright. Not everyone can be the big dog. Take a walk, kick rocks. Can't keep me out cause I pick locks. They hearing me knocking, I'll never be stopping. I keep this shit popping like lip gloss.
Jay, you're the GOAT. You're a GOAT for that, Jay. You're the GOAT.
Hey, that was a nice commercial. But Jay, can I speak on something?
Yeah, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Rob is here to talk to you, and I'm here to deliver the eulogy for the Boston Celtics. I know Frankie the Yankee wants this series to go to Game 7.
Is this a hot take?
Time that the Boston Celtics visit heaven. They've played a great game. They've played a great series. They've done some incredible things in these playoffs. I mean, they swept Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets while Kyrie was trying to decide on if he wanted to be a full-time net or not. They beat the defending champions in the Milwaukee Bucks and sent Giannis back home. They even put the fire out on the Miami Heat as Jimmy Butler had an amazing Game 6, but they were able to close it out in 7. But the Boston Celtics time has come to an end, ladies and gentlemen, as they have went against the Warriors. And yes, the Warriors have came to play. Boston, we love you. We thank you for giving us some exciting basketball these playoff series, but we you adieu.
Wow. Now that was a lot to absorb. Rob, so I guess my question to you is the Celtics obviously, like Frankie mentioned, in my opinion, the Celtics kind of fell in 3 areas. One was bench points, the second was at 10, 1 in the first half, 9 in the second half. Turnovers clearly 18-7, and then also points in the paint. Golden State had 50 and Boston had 36. Mm-hmm. So those are my 3 points I see where Boston really dropped the ball. But I'm also going to say that Golden State dropped the ball too because Steph Curry, which clearly is a superstar, and I will never go against that, and I believe Steph Curry is a superstar. But Steph Curry and his lack of shooting, had Steph Curry-like game, this would have been a much, much bigger margin of victory. Would you agree?
Oh, it would have been a blowout. I mean, and that's what makes me say that it's over with. I think Boston Hart has gotten taken out of it. If you look at it, they spent so much energy on game 4, where they thought that they were supposed to, win that game. And now you look, they come to game 5, Hart got taken out of it. And to me, it's bad. Steph didn't have a great game at all. And you lost by 10 points, even when you out-rebounded the Warriors. 39 to what? I think it was 47-39. You won the rebound battle, and you still lost. So my thing is, how do you expect to beat the Warriors when Steph is on? Which he's not going to have another game like that, especially not in the closeout game. And now you're thinking about not only do I have to compete with Steph Curry, but closeout Clay will show up to eliminate you.
So sports wrap. The Celtics clearly their backs are against the wall, down 3-2. But the saving grace is they are going home. They are going home to Boston. It's going to be a very difficult tasking for those guys to win back-to-back games, which they have not done in this series. But they're going to have to win back-to-back games in order to win the NBA Finals. Oh, I think he's circling out on me. We'll come back to him. Chris, I'll move that on to you, and then we'll come back to sports wrap. So, again, they're going to have to pull off a back-to-back win, which they have not done. Do you think the Celtics have enough in them to be able to pull off that feat?
No, I don't. I think it's going next game in 6, but even if it goes 7, I think the Celtics, like Rob said, their heart's been taken out of it, but I also think they're starting to get tired. You have to remember all those hard series they played to get to this point.
You want me to take it, Jay, since I'm back?
I'm gonna come to you. Hold on just one second. I'm gonna come back to you.
Yeah, I think the fatigue is catching up to him some, and Steph Curry's not going to play another game that bad, and you can't let a game like that slip through your fingers. When Steph played that bad, you have to win a game like that, and to not win a game like that, I think is what's going to cost them a chance of winning the series.
So sports wrap. So Gonzo is pretty much, the question was, the Celtics back against the wall. They got to win back-to-back games to win the finals. Do the Celtics have enough in them to pull off that feat, or is Rob right where the Golden State Warriors should end it on Game 6?
Yeah.
Did you freeze up on me? Sports wrap, you there? I think his phone is lagging.
I think Golden State ended in 6. The fact that this particular team hasn't done it. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Hey, sports wrap. Trying to read your.
Hold on, Jay. Just give it time.
So could be the weather. I don't know, but yeah, done it.
Okay, we're gonna come back to sports wrap. Sports wrap. Check your phone. Maybe the weather, like you said, but we're definitely only getting like every other word. Hey, Ron. So, what's your opinion on that, brother?
All right.
Ron.
He's here.
Hey, Ron,
let's go.
Ron.
My opinion on what?
Oh my God, he's not even paying attention.
Yeah,
Jay.
don't say that, man. When you said the word "what," it makes me want to say inappropriate joke, and I can't do that. Listen, the Celtics' backs are against the wall.
Everything's been lagging. Right.
I know, man. I'm sorry. Hey, look, the Celtics' backs are against the wall, right? They got to win 2 games back-to-back just to win the finals. Do the Celtics have anything in them that says that they can do it, or are they just punching the time clock? And basically, like what Rob is saying, that they should end it in Game 6. And I'm saying that, too, because I got the Warriors in 6. So, is the Warriors in 6, or do the Celtics have enough to get in them to fight back?
I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, the Golden State Warriors have been whooping the Celtics arse all playoff long. For some reason, why they would go Game 6 and want to play around and not capitalize, it's just not the Golden State we've been seeing. They've been dominant, like Frankie said, every third quarter. Celtics got a good punch, and that was about it. So, as beautiful as a Game 7 would be, I don't see how Golden State lets that happen.
I definitely agree with you on that. And Frankie, I guess my last question is what can we expect, do you think, from the Celtics? Do they have at least enough to fight in Game 6 and push it to 7? Or do you think, like what Rob is saying and kind of what I'm saying, is that I think they are done in 6?
No, I feel like they have enough. They can get enough energy to bounce back and at least give a fight in Game 6. Like I said, it's the turnover differential that caused the Celtics this game. They out rebound the Golden State Warriors, but the Warriors had I'm sorry, the Celtics had committed more turnovers than the Warriors. They had 18. The Celtics had 18. The Warriors had 6. I apologize. Um, so it's the turnover differential. If they can, uh, cause less turnovers and make more shots, then the Celtics are okay. But to go to what Rob said, Steph Curry having a bad game, this was the moment for the Celtics to take the lead in this series. Steph Curry's not going to have another game like that. Steph Curry's not going to go 0 for 9 from the three again. Like, this is the 3-point god right here.
Right.
So for them to win, I think the Celtics has to play better, a little bit tighter and better defense. That's the one thing they did on Steph Curry last night, and that's why he went 0 for 9 from the three. They were playing face-to-face defense with Steph Curry. We don't see that much often in the NBA anymore. Like, normally we'll see, like, chest to chest or chest to arm or whatever, but these guys were face-to-face with Steph Curry. Like, I was watching some of those highlights, and Steph Curry sometimes was headbutting Marcus Smart because Marcus Smart was straight up on Steph Curry's face. So that's good defense, and that's why Steph Curry honestly went 0 for 9 from the three, was because of the tight defense. So if they can continue that, but also you have to watch it. The Warriors have too much weapons, and Andrew Wiggins showed up hard last night. Like, that's the Andrew Wiggins I want to see. That's the Andrew Wiggins I loved coming into the NBA, and we didn't get to see that very often. So for Andrew Wiggins to show out like that, he has to continue doing that for the Warriors to win. But it all comes down to defense for me. Celtics has to play tighter defense and make better shots because, let's be realistic, I mean, they took a lot of shots and missed a lot. You got Jason Tatum, who missed 10, Jaylen Brown, who went 5 from 18, and Marcus Smart went for 7 for 15. So your big three didn't shoot really good. And other people around them didn't shoot the ball very that much often as well. So everybody has to step up. This is the next. This is the step, man. Everyone up. Let's go. Game 6. Tight defense. Stop the Warriors. Give me a game 7, so that way the Warriors can win it. Ron, shut your mouth.
Fraudulent.
Shut your mouth, Ron.
The Celtics are fraudulent, and we can start with their leader.
And what's the 76ers?
No, it's true. It's true.
Magic ponies.
Oh, here we go. Can't take no
Hold on a
criticism.
second, fellas. Hey, listen. The Celtics went 0 for 12 at the 3-point line to start that series, start that game off. They didn't start hitting. Then, of course, after the 0 for 12, then they went off and got 8 3-pointers. So the Celtics definitely, in my opinion, got off to a kind of a slow start in that game shooting wise. So Game 6 is Thursday at 9 on ABC. How do you guys? So, Ron, I guess my opinion is, so you think that the Celtics, when they play Game 6, they're going to be pretty much just – you think that the Warriors are going to take Game 6 from them?
I know one thing, that the Golden State Warriors are going to win like the 5th consecutive third quarter.
They didn't win the last third quarter.
They won the third quarter, but they lost the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is where the Celtics really went hot.
No, the Celtics won the third quarter.
They did win the third quarter, though.
The Celtics won third quarter.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, Celtics made that comeback last night in the third quarter, and the Warriors took
Ron
back
said the
over
Golden
at the
State
end.
Warriors will win a 5th consecutive third quarter. I'm just trying to kind of,
Well, I'll be dang. The Celtics went third quarter. My bad.
Did you not pay attention to what I said, Ron? I said it a few minutes ago. I said the Celtics outscored them in the third quarter
is it
for
really
the first time.
against me for assuming? Can you blame a brother for assuming? Regardless, the Celtics is going to get work. It may be a close game, but I just don't see the Warriors got too many weapons, and the Celtics. They're the Celtics. They perform the same way every series. Mistakes. I mean, Jason Tatum's leading the playoffs in turnovers. And
Oh, yeah.
that's what
No
he's
doubt about
doing in the finals.
Yeah, you
All
see
right,
it,
folks.
Sanders. You see it, Sanders.
And you know we might can say they gotta give up to the Yankees. I understand. It don't work.
Ron, what's your baseball team?
Hey, so I want to kind of shift gears for a minute. I think it was awesome, this whole Celtics Golden State thing. So I want to shift gears for a second to NFL, and I want to ask you guys a question. So the number one pick from last year's draft, Trevor Lawrence. He obviously, his first year was kind of rough under Urban Meyer, so forth, and he didn't really, in my opinion, live up to the hype of being a first-round pick. Matter of fact, I think Mac Jones probably lived up more to the first-round pick. I don't even like Mac Jones, but he lived up more to that first-round pick than Trevor Lawrence did. But what can we expect under Peterson's rule, which we all know that Peterson was a quarterback and has a history of developing quarterbacks. So what can we now expect for second-year player Trevor Lawrence going forward? Frankie, I'll start with you. We'll go around the horn.
All right, I'll go quickly because I got to go see my kids. They're crying. I expect to see Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Doug Peterson knows how to work a quarterback good, better than Urban Myers. And not just that, he has a better offensive lineman. He has people to protect him now. And he has sort of a good weapon. And let's not forget, he has Christian Kirk now. And people are forgetting Christian Kirk was he was that underrated guy on the Arizona Cardinals, let's be real. The reason, Christian Kirk wasn't mentioned that much in Arizona is because you got DeAndre Hopkins, obviously. So, I mean, Christian Kirk is that dude. So, Trevor Lawrence got the weapons. He's got the better coach, and he has a better offensive lineman. So, I'm expecting to see a Clemson Trevor Lawrence.
Interesting point. Rob? Rob, you're muted.
Yeah, I know. I was going back. I'm sorry. I'm working as I'm doing this. I was answering the email, but I don't know. With Trevor Lawrence, it's like did Jacksonville pick up receivers all of a sudden that he can throw it to? Like a quarterback is as good as the guys he can throw it to, and I don't care how great of a developer you are of the QB, if you don't give him the personnel around him to make him better, I still think he's going to be in the same boat. I mean, Jacksonville is just not good. I think he could play a little better, but it's the Jacksonville Jaguars we're talking about. I'm not wasting my energy following that team.
Damn.
Hey, but to your point, they do have Christian Kirk, so he's not immense, but he's not exactly, I would put him at a top tier. So I do see your point on that issue, Rob. Exactly. Who does he have really throw to? He has Kirk. I think Kirk is really about the only, and of course a bunch of other, no-name guys, really, honestly, at that point.
Yeah, Christian Kirk is good, but he's like a number 2. He's not a number 1 guy.
No,
sometimes a number 3, depending on the team you own.
Right. Absolutely. Gonzo, what can we expect out of Trevor Lawrence year 2?
I'm not expecting him to be great this year. I think he'll be better than he did last year. They did bring in a little help for him. They brought in Marvin Jones. They did get Christian Kirk, but Christian Kirk ain't number 1. I don't think Marvin Jones is number 1 at this point in his career either, even though he did have some success there in Detroit. And then they brought Ingram in at tight end, which I don't really understand that move because Ingram didn't do a whole lot with the Giants.
Yeah, but he had Daniel Jones.
But I think Lawrence will have a better season than he did last year. But I mean, I'm not expecting the Jaguars to do much because I think the Colts are going to win the AFC South. So I think Lawrence will be better than he was last year.
He's just saying that. I get it, Rob. You see what he's saying there, right, Rob? I see.
Hey, Chris is Indy through and through.
Hey, by the way, we didn't really get to see Travis Etienne which was his Clemson running back. When obviously they both came out in the draft together. But we didn't get to see him last year because of injuries. This year, he's not, according to the depth chart, they don't have him as questionable out or anything. So he should be ready to go per the regular season, barring injury and training camp or whatever. But, so Travis Etienne, I'm really kind of curious to see how well he makes his NFL debut as a starting running back for the Jaguars. Based on that run, what do we expect at number one, Trevor Lawrence, and number two, what do you think Travis Etienne's contributions will be to that effort?
I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be a completely different switch this upcoming season. I feel like they got the great quarterback coach that's going to come and be able to nurture Sunshine and be able to get the best out of him.
He does look like Sunshine.
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 I've told him that since he played Clemson. Sunshine. I like that.
But Rob, you pointed out a huge factor is who's he gonna be throwing the ball to, and Christian Kirk is not it. I think Frankie said he's the guy. No, he was never the guy. He was just somebody
He's
that
always
could
the
sit.
guy after the guy.
Exactly.
You guys are crazy.
Hey, Chris, when has Christian Kirk been that dude, bro? Let's just be honest.
Bro, he was that dude when DeAndre Hopkins wasn't around. That's the only reason
he started
why.
for a couple of games and we crowned him a number one receiver, bro.
That's the only, but that's the only reason why Christian Kirk is not, and that's why I called him underrated when he was with Arizona. And look at all the weapons that they got before, right after Christian Kirk. They got DeAndre Hopkins, they got Zach Ertz, AJ Green. Like, they had too many weapons, and that's why they got rid of Christian Kirk. He's going to be that guy with Jacksonville. Watch, he's gonna put up numbers, and he's gonna surprise you guys. And you gotta come back here and be like, wow, Frankie was right. He is that guy for Jacksonville for Trevor Lawrence.
I'm gonna tell you this: if I don't care how many weapons you got on that team, when you're that guy, you're that guy.
Let me ask you a question, guys. So Jacksonville took edge rusher Travon Walker at number one, which I get that. But they also had pick 20 in the first round, and they went linebacker Devin Lloyd. Do you think, like you said, they only had Christian Kirk to throw the ball to? Why did they not take a wide receiver at that point?
Clearly, they were focused on defense.
Right, and I get that. And if you want to focus on defense, but like you said, Trevor Lawrence needs help, and he needs a number one or somebody, out of that draft. Now, I know there's plenty of wide receivers, talented wide receivers at the 20 spot. Rob, wouldn't it have made more sense to draft a wide receiver to go along with that great defensive edge rusher to kind of give Trevor a little bit of help on the offensive side of the ball as well?
Yes, it does. And that's my thing. If you're going to invest all this money in a quarterback, or you're going to invest your draft picks into a quarterback, you look like a fool if you're not going to spend any money in the offseason or address future or use future picks to bring him some help. Get him some guys to throw it to. So I don't understand. I always hate to see that when teams are like all over the place, because I think that's a recipe for disaster. If you have to focus on offense, focus on offense. Don't use a high draft pick and pick a defender when you know your offensive line is horrible or you have no receivers for your quarterback. That's my only thing. Focus on what needs to be fixed, and then everything else will kind of fine-tune itself out. I think that's, to me personally, that's the Bears' problem. The Bears get Justin Fields, but then after that, then what? You get them nobody to protect them, and you got a bunch of receivers on the team that can't catch the ball all of a sudden. That's my thing. So if you're going to get a quarterback, you would think I'm going to focus on making my offensive side of the ball better. But, hey, like my mom always say, common sense ain't common.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, my mama said the same damn thing. Hey, she did, no doubt, man. Chris, they had an opportunity where they could have gone after a Devontae Adams and maybe splashed some money his way and tried to bring him over. They also could have, at number 20, drafted a wide receiver and brought him in there too as well to help out. What do we make of this? I mean, why are the Jaguars, just not interested in setting Trevor up for success?
I just don't think their general manager knows what they're doing. Their front office staff, they brought in Urban Meyer. They thought that was a good idea. Now they had to back out of that, get a new coach. I just don't think the front office really knows what they're doing because it don't make no sense to go defense with them first 2 picks. I can see maybe taking Trayvon Walker with that first pick, but at 20, you should have took an offensive weapon to help your young quarterback. I just don't think their front office really knows what they're doing.
Ron, based on what Chris just said, and talk about the front office, obviously Brian Leftwich did not come to the team because he did not believe in their GM as well. So would you agree that, the GM is really the main issue there? And should they have basically listened to Byron and gotten rid of the GM at that point and then brought in Byron Leftwich and been ready to roll?
Complete agreement. Lapse in judgment.
Yeah, it's really starting to look more prevalent, isn't it?
This is a huge, horrid management situation. We got to look at the whole chain of command, especially because of Urban Meyer. Oh, man. We brought in Tim Tebow and probably just threw off his entire rookie quarterback's first year. Man, that was a crazy situation last year.
Yeah. Because, and I know Sanders saying defense this and, wins championships and so forth, but at the same time, you already addressed your defense with a number 1 pick on your edge rusher. So why not use a number 20 pick to help out your offense and your number 1 field general? So it does make sense that at least at number 20, you could have got the best pass rusher and you could have got a really top-notch, wide receiver at 20. And you really would have been setting yourself up on both sides of the ball to have an impact on your team.
If it's all about defense, they would have took a defensive guy last year at number 1 instead of Trevor Lawrence. If it's all about defense winning you championships, you have to have a quarterback. You go get you one that's supposed to be a top prospect. You got to put offensive line in front of him and get him weapons, or it's going to end up like he'll end up like Andrew Luck did with the Colts and be out of the league because you didn't protect him.
Gridiron, that's a pretty big statement to say they're going to win the South, considering that you have Tennessee there in the South. That's a pretty big statement. I don't think I'm going to quite go out on that ledge. That is a hot statement.
Tennessee ain't shit.
It's because of culture in the South. It's not. Ain't nothing to do about Tennessee.
Tennessee's done.
You think so?
Tennessee's done. They're done.
They got a pretty damn good rusher. And they brought in a pretty good wideout to take over for where Brown left. I don't know, man. I don't think they're done.
I don't have faith in Tannehill.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think Tennessee's going to go deep, but I do expect them to win a division.
Chris.
No respect, man. No respect.
I'm just saying everything. Huh?
So the Colts are going to the division.
I mean, you expect, I mean, if Matt Ryan don't win that division, he's a bust. He's a bust. He's the most experienced quarterback in that entire division.
I don't know, man. You know what? I got to be honest with you. I think, when I think of Matt Ryan, he's a good quarterback. He got to do a Super Bowl. I mean, but I don't know, man. He's older in the tooth now. They don't really. The Colts don't really have a true number 1. They do have a hellified run game. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be. I see Indianapolis putting up a fight, but I just think at the end of the day, I still think that Tennessee is a little bit more well balanced than Indy is. That's just my opinion.
I have breaking news.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm waiting for Rob. I don't know what's going on with Rob. He keeps cutting it out, but. Breaking news is tennis related. Serena Williams is going to play at the Wimbledon as a wild card entry. She will be at the Wimbledon later this month. Serena Williams is back.
And it's good. You know what? Hey, listen, I I just watched the movie about Serena and of course Will Smith, King Richard, I think is what it's called.
King
And
Robert.
it's a good damn story. I mean, honestly, their backstory is really, really amazing. And it makes me feel good to see her coming out and play in Wimbledon as a wild card entry, whatever. I don't care. I mean, I like the storyline. I like her golf game. And so I wish her success. I hope she does well. I think she wants Serena. I mean, come on. But all right, man. So I want to kind of switch over. Well, let's talk about, I guess, I had my thing. Hold on one second. So the Grizzlies extend Jenkins' contract, which I think that was pretty much, you knew that was going to happen. With the Memphis Grizzlies, in terms of how well they played this year, and of course Frankie's prediction didn't exactly come true, but Frankie, I got to admit, man, you did see something in the Memphis that a lot of people didn't see. So, Frankie, what can we expect out of Memphis going into next year?
I expect them to play better ball, make more, better shots, and play better defense. I mean, they were pretty good this year. They were pretty solid, even without Ja Morant. I expect Ja Morant to turn his game around and become a better ball player, better ball handler as well. I mean, he's good right now, but I expect him to be more great. He's still young, so he's learning. And I expect this Memphis Grizzlies to make it far next year, hopefully to the Western Conference Finals. I can't say the finals just yet. That's way too early of a prediction. Golden State's still solid. So I do expect – I'm going to keep it up. I do expect them to make the playoffs next year. I'm going to start off with that right now. They're going to make the playoffs next year.
Interesting. Okay. Hey, and I don't see – I mean, of course, I absolutely believe that they're going to make the playoffs. I just wonder how far will they go in the playoffs? I think that's really more the question. Gonzo, how far is Memphis going to the playoffs next year, do you think?
I think they can make a deep run. I like their coach. I like the core that they have. I mean, they only lost a couple games when Morant was hurt, so that shows they have a good core to go along with Morant, who, like Frankie said, is just going to keep growing. I don't think he's near his potential yet. I can see him making a deep run. I wouldn't say that they're going to win the West or anything yet, but I could see him being maybe around three or four in the West.
Ron, what do you think?
If we're going to be honest, they had Golden State's number. Ja Morant put everyone on notice, shot 47 points in game 2, I think. We'll never know if they would have been able to beat Golden State if he stayed healthy, but I feel like they have the chance. But they're the youngest. We've seen what they can do. I don't see why we shouldn't say they're going to be the number 1 seed out west next year. Because although Golden State's the best team, they're too old to have an engine to play all. Is it 72 games? 82 games. I think they dropped it down a couple. Them or Dallas, I would predict to be number 1 seed out west.
Rob,
What's happening?
question.
Yes, sir.
Question, Rob. How far in the playoffs do you think Memphis Grizzlies will go next year?
That's a good question because
Western Conference.
I'm almost questioning Ja Morant's health. Like I've told a lot of people, he kind of reminds me of Derrick Rose. He has such explosiveness, the way he's able to leap and the way he's able to get up in the air, but I think can almost do more harm than good. He showed a little bit of that last season, showing that, he's injury prone, which is the reason we got to see how good Memphis can be without him. So I question his health, but if Ja is healthy, the Grizzlies can get to the Western Conference Finals. I believe what Ron just said. Like I think that team can go as far as Ja can take them, but without Ja, they're second round exit.
Question. I'm going to switch gears a little bit here, and I want to kind of go to what Gridiron Yuki is talking about. When it comes to Metcalf, do you guys think that he winds up asking for a trade and goes to Denver to reunite with Russell Wilson?
No.
I can see it. I see it. I mean,
no.
You don't think so?
If he gonna demand a trade, then I want to go play with Tom.
No, but it makes sense. So I mean, look, he reunites with his quarterback, so he's already got that tie, he's already got that bond. He's going to a team that should fare well, in the playoffs. So he's going to get back to a competitive team in a competitive division as well. And of course he'll line up opposite of Judy. Melvin Gordon should make his way back, as a running back. I mean, this is not it has a good defense. I mean, it's not a bad situation.
If you're Metcalf
Jay,
and you demand
I'm
a trade,
go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry.
no, I'm just agreeing with Rob. If he asking for a trade, it's either to go play with Rodgers or Brady.
Interesting. Okay.
At this point, I'm convinced Jay just wants all the top name wide receivers out of the NFC, so that way he can have a easy way for his Cowboys to make it into the playoffs and do something. Try to do something. I'm just convinced that he wants all the big name players to come over to the AFC. It's not gonna happen, Jay. He's not gonna reunite with his Cinderella quarterback. If anything, DK Metcalf's probably gotta get a trade and go to a team where he can try something new and play with a new quarterback, kind of like maybe Kyler Murray, or like Ron said, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, maybe Jameis Winston. Who knows? I mean, you never know. He's gonna stay in the NFC. Stop bringing all those top talents to the AFC, Jay.
Hey, a couple of things. Number one, he ain't going to Tampa because they don't have the money to bring him over for what he's going to want. Number two, I'm okay with DK staying in Seattle because, let's be honest, Drew Lock's throwing the ball, and Seattle's not going to be that much of a threat anyway. So I prefer him to stay with Seattle.
I heard Geno Smith's getting the quarterback number one position.
Oh, man, if that happens, it's a wrap. Hey, real quick, Rob, what do you think about DK possibly forcing a trade to get out of Seattle? And what do you think is it plausible that he could try to go to Denver?
I mean, he does like Russell Wilson. I mean, we heard him speaking on Shannon Sharp podcast in which he was defending him, that people call him a lame, which I also find to be weird too, that you're calling a guy a lame who has a beautiful wife and wants to be a father to his kids. Even if he wasn't the biological father, he still wants to be a father to the kids in his life. But you call that dude a cornball. I would never understand that. That's so stupid to me. Russell Wilson is a great American citizen in my eyes. But if I'm DK Metcalf, if I do request a trade, I'm exploring my market. I want to go to the best team possible. And if we look at the landscape, especially in the AFC West, do you see Denver getting out of the AFC West? I don't.
Can I say something? Hey, Russell Wilson. I got 2 words for you. Malcolm Butler.
And that, my friends, is why we call Frankie the Yankee a butthole.
Gonzo, I want to get you into this conversation, man. What do you think about DK? Do you think he stays with Seattle? Do you think he goes to a different team? Do you think he tries to reunite with Russell? What do you have going on with DK?
I think he'll end up staying in Seattle, but if he does demand the trade, I agree with Ron. I think he'll either go to Tampa Bay or Green Bay and play with Rodgers. He's never going to go play with Rodgers or Brady.
But the funny thing about that is neither one of those teams has the cap space to bring him in.
Jay,
not what he's going to want.
Jay, New Orleans didn't have cap space, and they brought in Tayu. Or however you say his name. How many times
have we not seen these teams can make it work?
Yeah, they figure out ways to get around that.
There's incentives. There's ways we can, pay you later. There's ways that people can take pay cuts without taking actual pay cuts. We've seen this in the NFL.
Well, yeah, what you're talking about is backloading contracts, and I get that.
And we've seen Tom Brady take that.
Or they'll give him a big signing bonus.
at the end of the day, you still got to pay that back into that contract. So you're not really giving a pay cut. You're just basically backloading into that contract and making it back heavy. And that's okay. If you want to do that, if you think you can do that, and I agree, they could do that. But I think the ramifications, if it doesn't pan out with DK, and now you got to pay that backloaded contracts, man, you're really setting yourself up for a big time financial issue.
Are you talking about the way Dallas did when they gave Dak Prescott $75 million?
Exactly. Good point, Rob. Thank you for bringing that up, Rob. I never felt so depressed, and I appreciate you.
I love you, Jay.
I love you. I love all you motherfuckers too. I can't say what I want to say, but yeah. Question, guys. Question, man. Look, Josh Donaldson. We all know the infamous Josh Donaldson. And Tim Anderson calling him Jackie and things of that nature. It's come down to they're going to uphold the one-game ban. They reduced his fine to $5,000, which to me is ludicrous. In my opinion, this is my opinion, but I think Major League Baseball is really, really being lax on their discipline. I think Josh Donaldson, in my opinion, for his comment, I don't care how he may have meant it, was really, really almost like non-existent because we all know $5,000 is nothing. One game ban is nothing. So it's almost like it's a slap on the wrist rather than anything else. How do you guys feel about that? To me, it just makes me sick to think that you can say what you want to that degree, and yet Major League Baseball does pretty much nothing about it. Frankie.
What? What do you want me to say about Josh Donaldson? What do you want me to say about my player on my Yankees? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say, Jay? You really want me to? You want me to like talk bad about my player?
Call it down
okay,
the middle,
I'll talk bad about him. He's great. Let me stop. I don't accept what Josh Donaldson did. I already talked about this. I feel like he should have been suspended one game, and it's only one game. I mean, how many games we have left in the season? Like 120 or something, 110. I don't know. But there's a lot of games left, and it was just one game. I would have never appealed it. I mean, I understand the money, and Jay's upset about it, and basically calling the baseball league soft. And then I agree. They kind of are getting a little soft because, you got people calling other people Jackie, and maybe he said it in a different way, and then Tim Anderson took it a different way. I don't know. I mean, it's what the baseball league do. We can't change it. I just accept that, hey, he's on my team, so let's go Yankees. Josh Donaldson. Hey.
I don't think it's so much about Donaldson that I'm talking about, or even the Yankees organization as a whole. It's really MLB and their lack of discipline. That's really
they're getting soft. They're getting soft.
So what do you think, Ron?
Ron. Hey, Ron. Ron needs some weed in his life.
Yeah, Ron. Hey, listen, man. I know your life over there is complicated as hell, but just give me a few more seconds, man. We're wrapping up the show. But I want to know what you think about Major League Baseball and their lack of discipline
What did Josh Donaldson do?
He called Tim Anderson Jackie. Jackie Robinson.
Like, he was referencing Jackie Robinson. So he called him
He got
Jackie.
suspended a game?
A game and $5,000 is what he was penalized by MLB.
He'll be fine. He's crying about $5,000?
No, he's not crying. My point is this. Look, if he called him Jackie, to me, a lot of people will say, and I, of course, let me give you the backstory, the real quick backstory. The backstory is Tim Anderson said he is a Jackie Robinson of baseball and that he's changing the game to make it more fun, this, that, and the other. And so now, since then, Josh Donaldson has been calling him Jackie every time they come on and off the field in passing. And Tim Anderson took offense to that. And a lot of people are saying that it's a racial type of thing on Josh Donaldson's part. Of course, only Josh knows if he meant it racially or not. But is Major League Baseball, whether he meant it as a racial thing or not, should Major League Baseball have taken a stronger stance rather than a one game and a $5,000 fine? Or do you think that they got it right?
Did they get it right? That's an interesting way to put it. Clearly, they didn't get it right, but nobody's really paying attention. I feel like it's fair.
I mean, if he's calling himself Jackie Robinson and then getting mad that somebody's referencing him to Jackie, why cry about it if you called yourself Jackie Robinson of the game? Stop being a little. That's like game.
And again, and I can see that, Frank, and I'm okay with. I'm actually kind of okay with it. If he's calling him Jackie and you want to, and Josh Donaldson is calling him Jackie, like, yeah, right, like you're really Jackie Robinson. I can see that because and maybe that's why they call him Jackie. It's kind of like, bro, you're not Jackie Robinson. What Jackie Robinson went through and what you went through are nothing even close to being the same. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I have an issue with Tim Anderson, to be honest with you. My issue with Tim Anderson is ain't nobody Jackie Robinson but Jackie Robinson. Ain't nobody did for, you know what I'm saying? Like him wanting to change the game and make it more fun versus a guy who basically was the first African-American in Major League Baseball and transcending and breaking down the color barrier. That's not even closely in the same realm. So to call yourself Jackie Robinson, in my opinion, whether you're black or not or white or not, whatever, it's ludicrous. It's freaking ludicrous. Rob, what's your opinion? Okay, Rob's in the bathroom.
No, I'm here. Like I said, I don't really follow baseball that much. So I would honestly have to hear the context in which he said it. I'm not an overly sensitive person, so if you said something that made me say that statement, you know what I'm saying? Like if you were comparing yourself to Jackie Robinson, and I said sarcastically, okay, Jackie, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. Like, to me, people got to stop being said. Everything is not racially motivated. Everything is not meant to be, discriminatory. Like, to me, I just felt like the world is sensitive right now. And I get it. It's a lot of tension in the air. But I feel like in order to get to where we're trying to get to as a country, as somebody makes a joke about something, depending on context, everything is context. You know what I'm saying? If you only catch the end of a conversation, you don't know how this conversation went for that person to say what they said and for me to say what I said. So I think sometimes we have to take a step back and understand what mode of thinking or try, or where that person was coming from when they made that statement. So to me, from the way you explained it,
Rob,
but the way you explained
Rob, I got a deeper question.
He compared himself to Jackie Robinson, and he basically was like, "Okay, Jackie." I don't think there was nothing wrong with that. I don't.
But here's a deeper question, Rob. Here's a deeper question. Let's go real deep in this because I do have an issue. What Jack Del Rio did comparing the Floyd situation with the Capitol situation, and of course, the Capitol situation does stuff on so many levels was jacked up.
It was.
But hold on, but watch this. And we get upset about that, and rightfully so. But then when Tim Anderson comes out and compares himself to Jackie Robinson, what Jackie Robinson went through, why are we not getting that same level of anger at Tim Anderson? Because God knows Tim Anderson never experienced what Jackie went through in the game of baseball. Why are we not upset about that?
Well, I didn't know it happened.
Yeah, so he compared himself to Jackie Robinson. Hey, he said, I am the Jackie Robinson of the era, being that, I'm changing the game of baseball, making it more fun. Like,
how is he changing the game of baseball?
Well, I don't know exactly specifically how he thinks he's changing the game.
In his own mind, because he's not doing it on the field.
Yeah, well, my thing is, that's the joke in itself. The fact that you compared yourself to somebody who had to go through racial discrimination to play a sport that he loved. You know, you look at guys like Bill Russell, who won the championship with the Boston Celtics, but
in a very difficult time period.
Couldn't go eat dinner with his white brothers and sisters because he couldn't go in the same restaurant they can go to, or they had to sneak them out the back door, or they couldn't ride the same bus. So, you know, we all know that in itself is a joke. So, you know, sometimes ignorance, you don't glorify ignorance with a response. You let people like Tim Anderson just talk. But what Jack Del Rio said was, I think so much anger came about it. I can speak as a black man because I was already angry about the Capitol situation, just due to the fact I know if that was hundreds of black people going to storm the Capitol, we would have been dead in the street. And to see, you know, our counterparts do it where police didn't even want to intervene. The National Guard was stuck somewhere underground and didn't want to intervene is one thing all in itself. So for you to call that a dust up when you're disrespecting the very same people that crucified Colin Kaepernick for putting his knee down during the national anthem, these are the same people that stormed the Capitol. Let that sink in.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah, no, you're right. Hey, you know what's interesting to me is it is so crazy to me. Is like, you know, when you look at baseball, now you got Kapler, the manager for San Francisco, staying in the dugout during the national anthem. You know, I don't know, man. I mean, to me, it's like, come on, bring Kaepernick back in the league. I mean, obviously, if people are going to stay in there, in my opinion, if you're staying in the dugout, you look at the national anthem, it's the same as taking the knee. I mean, it's still the same, in my opinion. They're both protesting the same. I'd say, man, bring Cap back in the league. Let him look. If the man can play, bring him in the damn league. You know, God knows, you know, he's better than Geno freaking Smith. So bring his ass back in the damn league. I'm sorry. If you say, hey, Jay, who you want on your team is your backup quarterback? Because we all know that Geno and Colin at this point, they're not starters. But damn if they're not backups. And I don't know, man. I might even throw him as a starter in Seattle because I don't know that I believe in Drew Lock being better than Cap.
Hey, I can name a couple quarterbacks that's not better than Cap probably right now, and yet these guys have jobs in the NFL. So my situation with that is, you know what I mean? We, you know, don't pick and choose when it's okay to disrespect the flag or disrespect the country, because you can't get mad at somebody for taking a knee during the national anthem, but at the same time think it's okay to storm the building unlawfully on the place that houses the Constitution and where laws are made. Is that not disrespectful to America? So that's my thing.
Oh, hell yeah. You know, Rob, and I'm going to be very, very transparent. When Colin Kaepernick first took a knee, I was very pissed off. Like, I was pissed off. Like, I was angry. I was one of those guys that was like, how the hell are you going to let this guy be in the league? And then he's out there disrespecting the anthem and the flag the way he's. But then, you know, a friend of mine came to me and, you know, he kind of taught me a little bit more about it. And we kind of sat down. We had a little coming to Jesus moment. And I thought about it. He's right. You know what? That's what we fight for in America. Especially as soldiers and put your life down on the line. We do it so we can be free, so we can be in a free country. And you know what? I don't always like what people do with their freedom. But at the same time, hey, it is freedom. And you can't censor that. You can't pick and choose what freedom looks like. Because when we start doing that, then we are looking at a communistic society or a social society, whatever. So even though I don't necessarily always agree with what people do with their freedoms, I support that. I support them because, you know what? I fought for the right to be able to do what you want, when you want, and how you want. As long as you're not hurting somebody else, hey, go be you, bro. Do you.
And we can't say enough, Jay, how much we appreciate you and the other men and women who sacrificed their lives for that very reason. For us to have freedoms, you know, you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you know, sleeping in tents and, you know, and you know, monitoring, you know, basically policing the world as, you know, soldiers and representatives of this great country. So we appreciate you, you know what I'm saying? And we thank you guys for giving us that option to be free, because let me tell you something else. When you watch the news, it's not like this in other countries. So you say what you want about America, you know, it's a great time to be alive when you're living in the great U.S. of A.
That's true, man. That's true. I mean, honestly, just think from a religious standpoint. I don't care what your religion is. I mean, you can be any religion.
Yeah.
But like if you look at countries like China and a few other communist countries, whatever your religion is, they don't allow you to practice it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, they will put you in jail for practicing your religion. And the great thing about America is you can be whatever religion you want to be, and you can do it freely whenever and however you want. And I mean, honestly, and I think a lot of times we take that freedom for granted because, and I think a lot of that, and I'll tell you, I was one of those that, I was like, how can you do? But at the same time, hey, bro, I don't want somebody telling me what to do with my freedom. So why are you going to tell me what to do with my freedom?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to put that in perspective. Is being free is exactly that. Being free.
Yes,
it is. And as long as you're not hurting.
The hell with this country. It's making me pay $5 a gallon in gas. The same price that I could get a gallon of milk. Now they took away dollar menus of restaurants and stuff. You can't get a damn freaking. You can't get a freaking ice cream from the McDonald's because the ice cream machine is always down. And Taco Bell is expensive now. I miss going there getting $1 taco. Now I gotta pay like $2 for a taco. This is a crazy country. I love this country, but this is a crazy country. What a time to be alive. This is bring me back to the 90s, damn it. Bring me back to the 90s where gum used to be 25 cents.
Hey, listen, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a Biden supporter by any means, but I will say this. The gas prices, that really has a lot to do with Russia invading Ukraine. Let's just be honest. Let's just call it what it is. It doesn't matter who the president is. If you invade a place like that, that's just what happens to oil because the supply becomes limited. If you want to get pissed off so we haven't invaded Russia, getting them the hell out of Ukraine so we get the gas prices back down.
Don't you give me your military expertise, Bible. No, the hell with that. We'll get oil.
But what I will say, you know what I will say is two things. Number one, and we're going to close out the show with this. Biden, I would implore you to open up our oil fields that we have here in the U.S. so we can get the gas price back down. You can do that for us. So look into that, please, for the love of God, because I got to be honest with you. I got to go to USAA every other week to apply for the same damn loan. I'm probably going to have to go to payday to put more gas in my car. So if you could do that for me, that would be great.
Y'all got issues.
I love this show. What a time to be alive in America. Hey, all right, listen, we're going to get some final thoughts, and we're going to get up on Frankie, what are your final thoughts, brother?
I really don't have no final thoughts. I just, enjoy your day, everybody. I got to work today. What a night. Baseball today, Yankees and Rays. I'll be watching on my phone at work. Hopefully I don't get fired. I really don't care, but whatever. Everybody enjoy your day. Get ready for basketball on Thursday. And, watch Unscripted tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I won't be there, unfortunately, but my crew will be there. Jay McLovin, Chris Gons, Logan Landers. Hopefully Pry will show his face. He don't want to show his face in the morning, but he'll probably show his face later. And if he does, I'm pretty sure Rob Scott will sneak in and get his words on Pride. So enjoy your night. Please tune into the Unscripted, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can follow us on Facebook. Also see us on ASAP Network also.
Hey, just so you know, Frankie has no thoughts because he's a prothead and he's burned out most of his brain cells. Number two.
That is true.
Pride. True. I keep calling it Pride. Frankie. That should be your LinkedIn. That should be your LinkedIn caption. If I get fired, so be it. Whatever. Ron, final thoughts, brother.
We are officially in the lane where we don't get to watch basketball every night. It kind of hit me. Exactly. It hit me over the weekend, especially Sunday night. Like, wow, there's no basketball game on. But we're gonna have to depend on baseball to get us through the summer, Rob. At least the Yankees are good. But it's going to be an exciting NBA offseason, and Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry, Finals MVP.
Big shot, Rob $1.25. What you got for me?
Shout out to the Warriors. We're gonna be your NBA champions. Like Ron, I've been sad too. I'm a very avid basketball watcher. I love watching the game of basketball. It's my favorite sport, technically. I always say football was my first love, but basketball is my current love. And boy, do I love the game of basketball. So it's always a sad time. Like, we happy to see the NBA finals, but we know we're going to be without basketball for a while. But as it starts to get into fall, football will be back. So I'm happy.
Say that again.
Say that again. Yes, Lord. Football will be back, and you know the ASAP team is gonna be covering the NFL, baby. The only football league to me that matters. No disrespect to USFL or XFL, whatever, but we NFL over here. So I'm happy that I had the NFL back, and man, it's gonna be good to see the Warriors once again at top when everybody said that the dynasty was over. Yeah, I'm celebrating Damian because like I know, in the words of Vince Carter, is over.
Gonzo.
My only final thoughts is it does suck that basketball is ending, because now for the next 2 months it's basically just baseball until we get to some NFL, which I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully the NFL offseason starts picking up a little bit. Give us something to look forward to besides baseball. And hopefully my Reds can keep turning it around. Hopefully we get a win tonight.
And we glad you better too, Chris. We glad you are better, brother.
You guys want to see something funny before we go? Look at this. Freddie took this picture at his senior prom.
Hey, I just
gotta leave Freddie alone. Freddie.
Hey, I just want to know what waiter he took that jacket off of. That's all. What waiter did you take? Did you steal that jacket from?
Yeah, hey, what y'all say, boy? That jacket.
Stop. One thing I noticed, and we just came out of Mental Health Awareness Month, which was last month. Something's going to come back, man. Whatever. And I felt like what I wanted to say was on last show at least was when I go to the gas pump, I feel bipolar. What I mean is when I go to the gas pump and I put my little debit card ATM in there and I see $4.35 a gallon, I have a lot of anxiety. And I literally so I check my little app, my little USAA app, and I see my beginning balances of how much money I got in the bank. And then I go to the pump and I put the pump in and I put the nozzle in the gas tank. And as the dollars click away, I go from being anxiety ridden at the beginning to being depression laden when I put the nozzle back. And I literally tell myself as I sit back in my car and I do the post evaluation of my account at USAA, and I say to myself, okay, Jay, if I divide this in four, I think I can afford 6 weeks of ramen noodles, and I'm done. And maybe two rolls of toilet paper that I count the squares on. And that's how I feel after I've gone to the pump at Walmart, from anxiety to depression. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but yeah, man. Hey, listen, I can't wait till we get to the fall. Hopefully gas prices will come back down because it's rough out here in the world.
It's up to $5.15 here.
Hey, listen, man. I know. Hey, listen. I'm glad I'm at $4.37. If I can't imagine what $5 or whatever would be, I probably have to. I don't know, man. I'd have to go to the blood bank before I went to the gas pump or something.
It's almost $6 here. You really have to hey, Chris. We actually come your way, bro. Hey, you know, right now everybody like go to Indiana, bro. Get the cheek.
Hey, you know what? I don't know if y'all live y'all's life like this, but this is how I live my life. I figure to myself, okay, Jay, I know I'm at least healthy enough that I can walk a half a mile up and a half a mile back, and I'm good. So I live my life that, okay, whatever I can get to within a half a mile, I'm walking that son of a bitch. But if it's more than half of a mile, okay, Eleanor gonna get started up, and we're gonna go without AC, and we're gonna drive at the damn near grandma pace to conserve gas. Life is hard out here. I'm telling you, Rob. You know, I wish I had a train like y'all have in Chicago. I really do. I wish I had a train like y'all have in Chicago. I'd be on the train every day, all day.
Hey, that's the only time I really do get on the train, come to work, working downtown. So,
man, bro, I'm telling you right now, man. Hey, listen, okay, folks. Hey, we have come to the end of the show. I'm going to start me at GoFundMe. It says poorwhiteguy.com. If you could donate some money towards my gas bill, hey, listen, man, you can use the tax write-off. It's all good.
Hey, I'm gonna jump on that with you and put in hashtag poor black guy too.
Frankie will jump on. He'll be the poor Puerto Rican, so it's all good. It all works out well. Hey, listen.
Oh Lord.
What a time to be alive at the end of an ASAP morning show.
We get one big smorgasbord of assholes, boy. I gotta love us all.
Hey, listen, don't forget, hey, tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, you can catch me, Logan, Gonzo. I know Rob I know he's gonna show up because he's gonna come back to us.
I'm gonna try to pop up on y'all, man.
Yeah, I know you are. No, don't tell me that. Try, man. You gonna do it, or I'm gonna come to your house. No, I can't. The gas will kill me. But I will hire somebody in Chicago area to come visit you. It's all good. Don't worry about it. No, hey, listen, man. 7 p.m. tonight, Eastern, unscripted. Gonzo, Logan, me, should be Rob and Pride, and yeah, man, come hang out with us and we'll talk some more sports and we'll get more into it. Until next time, it is ASAP in the morning saying adios and may the gas prices forever be in your favor.
We gone.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces.